Yeah, we were studying potential transformer and current transformer, and qualitatively we talked about the errors in a current transformer or potential transformer. We mentioned two types of errors: residue error, that is the error in the magnitude in measured value, and the angle error or phase angle error. So today we will see quantitatively what are the expressions for those errors. Achha. To start with, let me first tell about one approximation that we will use again and again today. Suppose this is a phasor quantity, and to this phasor quantity I add another small phasor. Okay, take this quantity as the reference phasor direction, and this is a small quantity added to it. Call this as A, and this, okay, it will have two components, little a and little b. Little a is in the direction of capital A and little b is perpendicular. Now this phasor A plus B, which I am drawing quite large, but you assume that this is much smaller compared to this capital A. If so, then let us consider the sum of these two quantities. Okay, so this is basically a phasor sum of A plus B. I mean, this symbol I am using for denoting phasors. Okay, and the sum that you have to do, it is like the vector sum. You have to do it using parallelogram rule or triangle rule. Okay, so this is also equal to A vector plus A plus B vector. Okay, now suppose this vector is the measured quantity. This is the measured value of a voltage or a current, and suppose this is the true value or true quantity of that voltage or current, and this vector is the difference between the true value and the measured value. So this you can say as the error quantity. Okay, therefore this angle is the angle error or phase angle error, or the difference between the true value and the measured value. Okay, you see that the true value and the measured value, they are not in the same direction, and also the magnitude is different. Okay, this magnitude and this magnitude, they are different, so we also have a magnitude error. Now we will find out approximately what is the magnitude error and what is the phase angle error, assuming that this error quantity, this difference phasor, is small. Achha. Then let me write this true value. Achha, let me write directly the error, say in magnitude. That will be the magnitude of this vector or phasor and minus the magnitude of this. So that will be magnitude of A plus B minus magnitude of A. Okay, capital A and little a, they are in same direction, but little b is in the perpendicular direction. Acha. And now I can also divide this by A, so that will be per unit error, magnitude error per unit. If you multiply this with 100, you will get percent error. Okay, so this is the per unit magnitude error. Acha. Now let us simplify. So this you can write as a plus a whole square plus b square square root of that, okay, minus, this is just a, magnitude of a, and divided by a. Achha, now this here let me take a common outside, and then inside we have to divide everything by a square. Okay, Achha, so this will become, let me do some step jumps, a square plus 2a plus b square, everything divided by a square minus a whole divided by a. Now this will become the quantity inside under the square root. This is 1 plus a by a square plus b by a square plus I think this is extra, this is 2a by capital A whole to the power half, and then this a will cancel, this will also cancel, minus 1. Okay, now if we use binomial expansion up to first order term, then we will get 1 plus half into all these terms. I will just keep only the first order term a by a 2, and all the terms which are quadratic, that I am not writing. Okay, so notice that little a by capital A is a small number, so square of that is even small, that I am ignoring, or ignoring all the second order terms. Similarly, this little b is a small number compared to capital A, so the square of that, all those higher order, second and higher order terms I am ignoring. So I will get only this is the up to first order term. So now this one is cancelled, 2 cancelled, so I am left with a by capital A. So this is the per unit error. Okay, so notice that this per unit error depends only on this little a, the component of a, which is along the direction of the capital A. Okay, so this is the per unit error. Achha, now in the same way, let us calculate the angle error. Okay, now angle error is this theta, and when this vector itself is a small vector, then this angle will also be small, and then theta, tan theta, sine theta, all are approximately equal. Okay, so then this theta you can write is b divided by a plus a. Okay, and then I will approximate this, assuming that little a, little b are much smaller quantities compared to capital A. Okay, so what can I do? I can write this as b by a 1 plus little a by capital A. Yeah, okay, and then b by capital A 1 minus a by a divided by 1 minus a by a square, and now we will ignore all higher order terms, higher than first order. Okay, so this term we will ignore. So this will be approximated to little b by capital A, then 1 minus this thing. Again, if you expand it, you will get b by a minus little a b by capital A square, which is a second order term, which I will ignore. Okay, so this is approximated to this. Also, these are approximations. Okay, so remember that in the angle error, the term b matters. Okay, little a doesn't matter, and this error, this angle is little b by the measured quantity capital A. So these two rules, these two approximated formulas, you keep in mind. Angle error is b, little b by capital A, where little b is the perpendicular component of the difference or error, and the magnitude error is little a by capital A, where little a is the parallel component or in phase component of the difference or error. Okay. Any questions so far? Is it okay?
Sir?
Yes.
So generally when we find relative error, we calculate it as observed minus expected by expected, right?
Okay, so your question, I think this is not right. So your question is error equal to measured minus true, or true minus measured?
No, so I am talking about relative error. So that we will take the magnitude.
Oh, acha. Okay, so your question is relative error or per unit error, whether this is error by measured value or whether it is error by true value.
Yes, sir.
Okay, see, I mean, in the books and while studying this subject, you will come up across both these definitions, this definition as well as this definition, and in case of error also you will come up with this either of the definitions. Now the thing is that in case of this, only a sign matters. Okay, only the sign matters, and in case of this, they are both equal. They are both approximately equal under the natural normal situation when error itself is small. Okay, then the denominator, measured and true value, they are also quite small. So basically, suppose your measured quantity is 100, true value is 102, then the difference is 2. Now whether you are dividing 2 by 100 or 2 by 102, they are going to come very close. Okay, so therefore we will see both these definitions, their values are normally very close, unless the error is very large. Okay, unless error is very large, both of them are very equal. And we also use both these definitions depending on the situation. For example, if the measured value is known, okay, if the measured value is directly known, true value is not known, maybe that is the more likely case, then we will use this definition. Okay, but you can also use this definition when you are starting from the true value and the true value is known, then this quantity is easier to use. My point is, both of these will give equal, almost equal answer unless the error itself is small, and depending on the situation, whether the measured value is directly known or whether the true value is directly known, you can choose to use either this definition or this definition. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Uh, okay. Achha, now let us come to the transformers. Achha, for that, let us go back. So this was our potential transformer. Let me copy this. Uh, okay. Now, suppose these quantities in the equivalent circuit R1, little r1, little x1, r2, x2, xm, r0, all these quantities are given. Okay, and they may be normally experimentally measured, or yeah, so these quantities are all given, and under that situation we want to measure the error in the measured voltage and the angle, phase angle error. So this is the voltmeter and in the secondary, and the quantity that we are actually measuring is this voltage. When we multiply the voltmeter reading with the turns ratio, okay, then we will get this voltage, and this is the input voltage that we want to measure. So the difference is the voltage drop that occurs from this point to this point. Okay, so here to here there is a voltage drop from here to here, and that quantity is the error in the measurement. Okay, so let me write measured or estimated value is this V1 prime, which is voltmeter reading multiplied by N1 by N2, correct? Okay, and true value is this V1 in this diagram, and error will be the voltage drop from here to here. Okay, acha.
Sir,
Yes.
so won't the measured value be V2 means V1 dash into N2 by N1? The measured value, because we are measuring V2.
We are measuring this voltage V2 voltmeter reading. That
So, and that is equal to V1 dash into N2 by N1. So the measured value will be V1 dash into N2 by N1, and expected value will be V1 into N2 by N1.
V1 into no. See, we are measuring V2 directly, okay, and then we are multiplying this with N1 by N2. Okay, so see, if this were an ideal transformer, okay, then this part was not there. Okay, we would have got V2, and what would have been our guess? What would have been our guess for the primary voltage? Okay, our guess would have been multiply the secondary voltage with the factor, with the turns ratio. Okay, this would have been the actual voltage if this drop was not there. So this is our estimated value. Is it okay? Or please repeat your, doubt.
I understood. Means the
Please repeat
error
slowly,
means.
huh?
Yes, means actually I thought it in a different sense. I thought that the error should be means the expected with means mine error which I told you was with respect to V2, means there is some expected value of V2 and we are getting another V2. So V2 measured minus V2 expected.
Okay, I think I got your point. Your point is that okay, you bring so you are doing everything, your all calculation at this point. You are
Yes.
calculating exact value of V2, and then you are subtracting that from V1 multiplied by N2 by N1, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. So overall, and what I am doing here, there is an overall multiplication with this factor. Okay, so I mean, anyway, here, I mean, what you will get and what I will get, the difference is only a constant n1 by
So
n2.
means those errors will be proportional. Means I think
They are
that
proportional to each other. Okay, but this is, so I am telling in from the perspective that I can already calibrate this meter by multiplying with this constants n1 by n2, so that it directly gives the reading of the primary voltage. Okay, not, it will not be accurate, but if you multiply voltmeter reading with this, that will be approximate input voltage. Okay, yeah, so let us continue. So now the error is this volt, so let me call, what do I call it, V drop, okay, with this side plus this side minus as the reference. So this is the error, and this is equal to this current I1 multiplied by approximately R1 plus R2 plus X1 plus X2. Now this will be, I mean, basically inductive components, so I may write the J explicitly here, okay, to distinguish that this is in a different direction from this direction. Okay, so
Sir,
yes,
should near AC source it should be V or V1
pardon.
at left hand side? It should be V1 or V, because in the
Here.
figure, in the diagram. No sir, in the diagram.
Which line?
In the diagram. No sir, in the diagram you
In
have
the
drawn.
diagram, yes.
Yes, yeah. The near the left hand side, it should be V1 or V, because you have written true value equal to V.
Here it is V1. Okay, what is your question? Please repeat.
It should be V, I think,
It should be V.
because you have written true value equal to V.
True value equal to V. Where?
No, at the bottom, sir. At bottom.
Oh, no.
Here is.
I actually meant V1 here.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
It's fine.
Yeah. Okay. And now one more approximation you see here. We are assuming that this I1 is flowing, I mean, throughout here and here. A part of I1 is also going through this. Okay. So this I1, I mean, the current here and current here are not equal, not exactly equal, but this current, the current that bypasses through XM and R0, that will be much smaller. Therefore, we are assuming that the same current flows here. Okay, because normally this impedance is much higher. Okay, therefore, the current that is bypassed, that we are ignoring. I mean, if we consider that, we will get only second order error, I mean, terms which is not required at this moment. Okay, acha. So this is the drop. Acha. Now I will draw some phasor diagram. Acha, and one more thing, the impedance between these 2 points is how much? If the impedance of the meter is, call it Zm, then the impedance as seen between these 2 terminals, that will be Zm multiplied by A square, where A is N1 by N2. Okay, A is N1 by N2. This we have seen in our last class. The impedance between these 2 terminals will be the Zm multiplied by A square. Okay, acha. And Zm is also a complex number. Acha. Next, let me draw V1 prime. V1 prime. This phasor is the measured quantity. Acha. Then how much will be I1 prime? This I1 is going like this. Okay, so here also I have I1. How much is I1? I1 will be, let me write here, I1 will be V1 prime divided by Zm, A square Zm. Okay, V1 by S square Zm. So let that be I1 here. And let this angle be theta. So this theta is the angle of Zm, because A square is a pure real number. So theta is the angle of Zm. Okay, that is the power factor angle of the meter, this meter, power factor angle of meter. Achha. Next, to this Im I will add the quantity I. Achha, let me call this simply I1 Re plus Jxe. E for equivalent, okay? E for equivalent, so that is R1 plus R2, here X1 plus X2, okay? So then, let me write I1 here. Then I1 Re, that quantity will be in the direction of I1 itself, because Re is a real number. So this is I1 Re, and then I1 Jxe, okay, that quantity will be, let me make some space, V1 prime. Now I1 Jxe will be at an angle of 90 degree. I1 Jxe. Okay, so then this, oh, sorry, I have made a mistake. Let me erase this. Okay, this is I1. I will draw I1 Re here, starting from here. Okay, this is I1 Re, not starting from here. Okay, that was a mistake. Okay, then I1 Re, and then plus at an angle of 90 degree I1 Jxe. Okay, so this is a voltage, this is a voltage, so this 2 is the total voltage drop, V drop. Now if I add this V drop with V1 prime, then this quantity then this quantity is V1. Okay, you see here V1 prime plus this drop is V1. Okay, so I am adding V1 with I1 Re plus J I1 Xe. So this is the final V1. This is the true value of the input voltage, and V1 prime, this is the V1 prime measured value. Let me make it nicer. This is V1 prime measured value. Now how much is the error? Okay, so magnitude error, per unit magnitude error, so let us go back to our general formula. Here we see the magnitude error is the component of this difference vector along the measured quantity divided by the measured quantity. Okay, so now how much is the component of this is V drop. Okay, this is V drop, so we want to find the component of V drop along V1 prime. How much is that? Okay, notice that this angle is theta. Okay, if this angle is theta, then I1 Re cosine theta will be the horizontal component contributed by I1 Re. And similarly, this vector I1 Jxe, that will also have a horizontal component. And how much will be the horizontal component of this J I1 Xe? Anyone?
Sine theta into
sine, that will be I1 xc multiplied by sine theta, okay, because this is at 90 degree. So these two are the horizontal components because of these two resistive and inductive drops. Now this you divide by the true value V1 prime, okay, this is the per unit error. This is also equal to I1 Re cosine theta plus I1 xc sine theta whole divided by, here you can write S square Zm multiplied by I1, that is V1 prime. This I1 goes away and we have Re cosine theta plus xc sine theta by, you can call it Zm prime, where Zm prime is nothing but S square Zm, that is sometimes called the impedance of the meter or the secondary impedance as referred to the primary side, okay. So this is the magnitude error. Achha. Next we will come to the phase angle error. But before that, I want to test our intuitions. Okay, can you tell me from intuition under what condition phase angle error will be 0? From intuition, that means under what condition, that means for what kind of value of Zm, on what condition on Zm, the angle between V1 prime and V1 will be 0. That means V1 prime and V1 will be in the same direction for what condition on Zm? From intuition and from this diagram. Anyone?
Sir, hello.
Yes.
So if we have an inductive load,
Pardon?
inductive load,
If this is inductive, okay, right? Anything more precise? I am telling that if the power factor angle or theta of this,
the impedance angle means the R1 Re plus Jxc angle of this and the angle of Zm should be cancelling each other, means like that, something like that.
right. So if this angle, if the power factor angle, I mean angle of Zm is same as the angle of this tan inverse xc by Re, then there, because then what will happen? Then let me draw. So and basically then let me see it mathematically, but you are right, okay. Angle error, okay. So angle error, first approximately it is given by this quantity, okay, which is the perpendicular component of the error divided by the measured quantity, okay. Now once again let me copy this phasor diagram. Okay, so now we this is the voltage drop, this is the voltage drop, okay, and this is the measured value, this is the true value. Now we have to find out the component of voltage drop in the direction perpendicular to the measured value. So that will be, this angle is theta, okay. So I1Re, we want the vertical component, so sine theta plus the vertical component of this inductive drop, I1 XE cosine theta. Is it correct? No, there is a sign mistake, I think, somewhere.
Minus I1 RE sine theta.
This is, okay, this is in downwards. If I want to measure it in the upwards direction, then this will be minus this by this, and then divided by V1 prime. Okay, Achha. And with this convention, I am actually measuring the angle in this direction. Okay, so if this quantity comes out to be positive, then so this error angle, this is the error angle, that will be upwards. That means true value will be what, leading or lagging? Will be leading the measured value. If this quantity comes out to be positive, then the true value will be leading the measured value by this amount. Okay, and if you want to measure the lagging, the angle by which the true value lags the measured value, then you have to calculate the perpendicular component in the opposite direction. Then this will be minus, this will be plus, then that will be in the lagging direction. Okay, if this quantity comes out to be positive, then that means the angle will be lagging. True value will be lagging the measured value. Okay, am I correct? Please check. Achha, then here you can put I1 a square Zm, so I1 goes away. This is the expression. Okay, now here also you see that if theta, what is this theta? Theta is the angle of Zm. Okay, if this is like this, suppose tan theta is equal to Xc by Re. Okay, if tan theta is Xc by Re, same as the power factor angle of this impedance, then will this quantity come out to be 0?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Means tan theta will be equal to Xc by Re. So
right. So
theta will be tan
then,
inverse.
yeah, then this will come out to be 0. Okay. Achha. Yeah. How do we show that? We can take, say, sin theta common. Here we can take sin theta common. Then we will get tan theta. So you can do that. Okay. So then angle error will be 0. Okay, achha. One more, another way of telling that is basically this drop will be actually in the direction of the measured voltage itself. Okay, yeah. So that you see yourself also. But okay, there is one point I would like to mention, that here then depending on the angle of this voltmeter, we can get the phase angle error, and therefore there is a concept of impedance, matching or something. That means for a particular impedance angle of the meter, we will get minimum error in the phase angle. And phase angle error is more important while we are using this for power measurement, for example. Okay, and therefore while using a PT together with a meter, normally we have to choose a meter with a designated power factor angle, otherwise errors will be more. And there are sometimes lots of charts, graphs given for different values of impedance etc. of the meter, how much is the error. So graphs and charts, they come with the PT etc. So that and also while using a meter, we should use a particular power factor meter to get minimum error. Okay. And also one more thing, see that here we are talking about a meter, that means a meter which gives a deflection, and from the deflection you can read the voltage reading. But a potential transformer may also be used to connect protecting devices like relays etc. Suppose in the secondary, instead of connecting a meter, we connect a relay, circuit breaker, something, so that if the primary voltage goes beyond the limit, the relay, circuit breaker, they will automatically act and switch off the circuit etc. Okay, that is also a kind of measuring instrument. Although we may not be looking at the scale and read the value, but that relay, that is also measuring the voltage, and if it is going beyond the acceptable limit, it is switching off the power or so. Okay, so that is also a kind of measuring equipment, and that can also be used together with the potential transformer. In fact, you can also use multiple things together. Okay, maybe a meter, maybe a relay of circuit breaker. Okay, so multiple things can be connected together so that you can also read the voltage if you want, and if there is a relay, that can also automatically trip the circuit when required. Okay. Acha. Next, let us come to the errors in a current transformer. But any question so far? Copy, paste. Now we are talking about the current transformer. Okay, so here is the setup. Once again, we have a transformer. Acha, let me ask, by the way, a potential transformer is normally step down or step up? What kind of transformer? Potential transformer normally
Step
down.
Step down.
Because we want to measure a higher voltage and bring it down to a measurable limit. What about a current transformer? Is it a step up transformer or step down transformer?
Step up.
It is a step up transformer because it will step down the current, it will lower the current, so therefore voltage will be stepped up. Okay, good, very good. Achha. So here is the transformer. The secondary has ammeter. Once again, other than the ammeter, we can also have protecting devices, relay, circuit breaker, those things. Okay, so suppose now we have an ammeter to measure the current, and in the primary side, so this may be connected in series with a generating station, and then this is the load. This may be our house or a factory or something else. Okay, in series with this generator and the load, we have this measuring equipment, which is the current transformer together with the ammeter. Okay, now the measured value, measured quantity, measured value is this ammeter reading that we will multiply by some turns ratio. Okay, that will be ammeter reading, then multiplied by what? it should be n1 by n2, I guess. Am I correct? It is always opposite to the voltage case. Here it is n1 by n2, so here it should be n1 by n2, so here it should be n2 by n1. Okay, so basically if this were an ideal transformer, if these impedances were not there, then how much current is flowing here? Okay, if you call that I1, okay, then I1, so I1 N1 is equal to I2 N2. This is the MMF balance equation. From that we can say this I1 is this ammeter reading multiplied by N2 by N1. Correct? This is what we have. So this is the estimated value. Okay, but this is not the true value here. This is the estimated value, which in this circuit is actually current here. This current. Okay, so we are actually measuring this current, but we want to measure this current. Are they equal? No. What is the difference? Difference is this current I0, the amount that is bypassed through this parallel impedance. Okay, so this is the measured value. Error is I0 according to this notation. Okay, so now let us find out the magnitude error and the phase angle error. Achha. So for that we will again draw some phasor diagram. Now suppose this is I1. Suppose this is I1. Call it I1 prime. Okay, call it I1 prime. This current, basically this current. Okay, Achha. So this is I1 prime, and with this we have to add I0. Okay, if I0 is here, then you add it here, I0. These two together will be the actual current. Okay, Achha. Okay, Achha. Now we will first write V1 prime. V1 prime is equal to how much? I1 prime multiplied by A square Zm. A square Zm is this impedance between these 2 points. That multiplied by I1 prime is V1 prime. Okay, this voltage, and which is also approximately equal to this voltage. Okay, because this drop is small. This drop we are neglecting. If you consider this, again you will get some second order terms not required. This voltage is approximately equal to this voltage, that is V1 prime, that is this much. Achha, now how much is I0? I0 is then V1 prime multiplied by 1 over R0 plus 1 over if you call it JXM. Okay, this is I0. V1 prime multiplied by current through R0 plus current through XM. Okay, this is I0. Now this I0 we have to add. But before that, let me draw. Suppose this is V1 prime. This angle, call it theta. So this angle theta is the angle of Zm. Okay. This angle theta is the angle between V1 prime and I1 prime, that is the angle of Zm, that is the angle of meter. Okay, so this is V1 prime. Now V1 prime multiplied by 1 by R0. Okay, so that will be something like this. Acha, let me draw it here. Okay, in the direction of v1 prime by r naught. Okay, so this current v1 prime by r naught is this current, then minus j by xm. Okay, so that will be we have minus j, so that will be in this direction. Please check my direction, etc. So that is v1 prime by xm, in which direction? With a minus j, so 90 degree lagging. Okay, this is 90 degree. Okay, so this is therefore I naught. This thing is I naught. Okay, acha. Now how much is the error? Once we have this diagram, we are almost done. Acha, notice that this angle is theta, this theta is this theta. Now tell me how much is the error. Okay, first per unit magnitude error or ratio error we call it. Who can tell me how much is the error? We have to take which component? Horizontal component. See, once again, go back. We have to find the component of the difference in the horizontal direction divided by the capital A. Okay? So here, how much is the horizontal component? V1 prime divided by R naught, this quantity multiplied by cosine theta, okay, plus V1 prime by xm, this quantity multiplied by sine theta, divided by I1 prime. Now I1 prime you can write as V1 prime by a square Zm. So let me write it directly here. V1 prime divided by a square Zm. So all this V1 will cancel. We will have 1 by R naught cosine theta plus 1 by xm sine theta, this multiplied by a square Zm. Okay, so this is the per unit error in magnitude. And angle error, how much? So are you with me up to this? Any doubt? Okay, so tell me about the angle error. So this is the phasor diagram. Okay, let me copy it. Okay, so tell me, who can tell me the expression for angle error? Angle error will be how much? Anyone? We have to find the component of this I naught in the vertical direction. Okay, vertical component of I naught divided by I1 prime. How much is the vertical component of I naught?
Minus V1 prime by R naught
Good.
into sine theta.
Good, very good, excellent. V1 prime
Plus
by, so this component minus and then plus
V1 prime by xm into
V1
cos
prime
theta.
by xm, excellent, cosine theta. Now here you can put V1 by Zm, a square, okay, then you can simplify, okay. Fine. So once you see, you don't have to remember these complicated formulas. All you have to remember is this approximation idea. Where is that? This thing that the error in angle is mainly dominated by the perpendicular component of difference, and so it's like b by measured value, and here it's like a by measured value. A is the parallel component. Just this much you remember, and if you can draw the phasor diagram, then immediately you will get these expressions for phase angle and ratio error, for potential transformer and current transformer. Okay, you don't have to remember.
So, sir,
much. Yeah.
so these values, like which we are deriving that angle error, these are the approximate, not the exact.
Right, under the assumption that the error itself is small, okay, under the assumption that in this case this I naught is small, okay, only if I naught is small, then this is true. If I naught itself is large, then this will not work. Then you have to do thorough calculation. Okay, yes, right.
Okay, so
But normally I naught should be small. And once again, let me say that if you take this theta such that, you tell me this, for what value of theta this phase angle error will be 0. You can look at this, or you can look at this diagram. At what angle, at what value of Zm the angle error will be 0. That is, if the power factor angle of the meter matches the power factor angle of
RE plus X plus JXE.
RE, no, not RE.
R naught plus JXM.
R naught
Oh,
plus
okay.
JXM. If this angle matches this angle, then the angle error will be 0. Why? You see, okay, we are ignoring this while calculating the error in current transformer. We are ignoring this. Okay, then you see the current through the ammeter is basically this voltage here to here, this voltage divided by meter impedance. Okay, so this voltage you divide by the meter impedance, you get the meter current, and the error current I naught is the same voltage divided by this impedance. In one case you are dividing by XM R naught, this impedance. In another case you are dividing by meter impedance Zm. Now both these currents will be in the same direction if this impedance and this impedance they are with same angle. Okay, then I naught and I2 will be in same direction, and there will be no angle difference between I naught and I2. So therefore this angle and this angle should be same. Once again, there is a concept of angle matching. If you use a prescribed meter with a prescribed power factor angle, your error will be minimum. Okay, thank you for today, and we will meet tomorrow again.